Sometimes, the strongest men are not the ones who lift the heaviest weights, but the ones who carry the heaviest emotions. This is not just the story of a WWE superstar. This is the story of a man who showed us that behind every champion, there is a human heart. Tonight, we look back at John Cena's most emotional moments in WWE. The moments that made millions cry, cheer, and believe in humanity again. If you love stories that touch the heart, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and tell us in the comments, which John Cena moment made you emotional the most? When we talk about John Cena's most emotional moments in WWE, one story rises above the rest: his connection with children battling life-threatening illnesses. Cena isn't just the face of WWE. He's the #1 wish granter in the history of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. More than 650 wishes granted. More than any other celebrity, athlete, or superstar. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Imagine this. A young boy sitting in the front row, fighting cancer. His dream is not to meet a movie star, not to meet a superhero from the screen, but to meet the man who taught him the 3 words: hustle, loyalty, respect. Cena walks out, looks that boy in the eyes, takes off his own cap, his armband, his never give up shirt, and places it gently in the boy's hands. The crowd cheers, but in that moment, the arena goes silent for the boy. The boy smiles, forgetting his pain, and for just one night, he feels like the real champion. For Cena, this wasn't about cameras or publicity. He once said, "These kids are the real heroes. I only give them a moment, but they give me perspective for life." And that's the truth. Behind the muscles, behind the championships, Cena's heart shined the brightest when he stood beside those who needed hope the most. In WWE, not every legendary moment is about victory. Sometimes, the most powerful memories are born in defeat. One such emotional chapter came when John Cena lost a major match. The arena was divided. Some fans cheered, others booed, but everyone was watching closely. Cena stood in the middle of the ring, microphone in hand, his body exhausted but his voice steady. He looked around at the thousands of fans and said, "Tonight, I didn't win, but your love, your energy, your support, that's my greatest victory." As those words left his lips, his eyes filled with tears. This wasn't the invincible Super Cena. This was the man behind the hero. Vulnerable, real, and deeply grateful. The crowd, sensing his raw honesty, stood up and gave him a thunderous ovation. In that moment, John Cena proved that being a champion isn't about titles or trophies. It's about humility, respect, and the courage to be real. That night, even in defeat, Cena walked out as the man who had captured millions of hearts. For years, fans saw John Cena walk to the ring wearing his colorful t-shirts, armbands, and caps. But among all his merchandise, one phrase stood out above the rest: "Never give up." To the casual viewer, it looked like just another catchphrase, another piece of branding. But for millions around the world, those words became a lifeline. There was a night in WWE when Cena lost a brutal match. He could barely stand, sweat and blood running down his face. As he made his way out of the ring, he paused, looked at the crowd, and slowly held up his shirt that read, "Never give up." The camera zoomed in, and fans could see the emotion in his eyes. This wasn't just for the audience. It was for every single person struggling in their own battles outside the ring. Students failing in exams, people fighting illnesses, families dealing with hardships. They all found strength in those 3 words. Cena later said in an interview, "Never give up isn't for me, it's for all of you. It's for anyone who feels like the world is too heavy. It's a reminder that even when life knocks you down, you can still stand up again." In that moment, the WWE Universe realized John Cena's true legacy wasn't just about championships. It was about hope.in wrestling. Injuries are not just physical setbacks. They are career-threatening moments that can crush even the strongest spirits. For John Cena, one of the most emotional chapters in his WWE career came when he was sidelined by a severe injury. Doctors and analysts predicted that he would be out of action for almost a year, maybe more. The WWE Universe assumed they wouldn't see their hero for a long time. But John Cena is no ordinary man. He is built on 3 words: hustle, loyalty, respect. And deep in his heart, one more phrase kept burning: never give up. It was the night of the 2008 Royal Rumble. The crowd inside Madison Square Garden was electric, already buzzing with excitement. Superstars had come and gone through the Rumble match, and then, at the countdown of number 30, the arena suddenly shook. The Titantron flashed the words, "My time is now." John Cena's theme song blasted across the arena. And in that instant, the entire stadium erupted in a deafening roar. Fans jumped from their seats, some screaming in shock, others with tears in their eyes. They weren't expecting him. This was months before doctors thought he would be fit to return. But there he was, standing tall, muscles ripped, fire in his eyes, soaking in the unbelievable reaction of the crowd. Cena walked to the ring, holding back a smile but clearly overwhelmed. He didn't have to say a word. The fans' reaction said it all. They weren't just cheering for a wrestler. They were welcoming back a fighter who had defied the odds, who had returned sooner than anyone thought possible. Some fans had tears streaming down their faces. Others simply kept chanting, "Cena, Cena, Cena." In that moment, John Cena wasn't just a superstar. He was a symbol of resilience, a reminder that the human spirit can overcome even the darkest setbacks. After his shocking return, Cena addressed the WWE Universe in the weeks that followed. He said, "The doctors told me I wouldn't be back this soon, but I told them, I don't work on their clock. I work on my heart's clock. And my heart told me that you guys needed me back. So here I am." The crowd erupted again, because they knew this wasn't just a scripted promo. This was Cena's real heart speaking. Cena's comeback didn't just electrify wrestling fans. It inspired millions outside the ring. Athletes recovering from injuries watched him and believed they could return sooner. Ordinary people battling setbacks in life, whether it was illness, job loss, or personal struggles, saw in Cena a living example of determination. His return at the Royal Rumble became one of the most replayed, most talked about, and most emotional moments in WWE history. It wasn't just about winning a match. It was about proving that you can never count out a person who refuses to quit. That night, John Cena reminded the world that a true hero doesn't just rise when things are easy. A true hero rises when the world says, "You can't." And Cena proved, yes, you can. When you talk about John Cena's most emotional moments, you cannot skip one of the biggest rivalries in WWE history: John Cena versus The Rock. On the surface, it looked like two megastars colliding for pride, power, and the spotlight. But behind the trash talk, the insults, and the drama, there were moments of real emotion and deep humanity. In 2011 and 2012, The Rock returned to WWE after years in Hollywood. Fans were electrified, but Cena wasn't impressed. He accused The Rock of abandoning wrestling, calling him a phony and a sellout. The Rock fired back, mocking Cena's colorful shirts, his never give up slogan, and even his fan base. For 2 years, their rivalry became the centerpiece of WWE. The promos weren't just scripted entertainment. They were raw, personal, and full of genuine tension. Fans could feel that the anger between them wasn't fake. Their rivalry climaxed at WrestleMania 28 and 29. At WrestleMania 28, The Rock defeated Cena in front of a roaring crowd. That loss was crushing for Cena, and fans could see it in his face. He didn't just lose a match. He lost pride, momentum, and respect in front of millions. But Cena came back the next year at WrestleMania 29. This time, he was determined, focused, and emotionally ready. When he finally pinned The Rock and became champion again, the look on his face told the entire story: redemption. After the match, something unexpected happened. Instead of celebrating alone, Cena extended his hand to The Rock. The two men, who had spent years tearing each other down with insults, finally stood side by side in the ring. They shook hands, hugged, and raised each other's arms. The crowd erupted, not because of who won or lost, but because they had just witnessed a moment of mutual respect. Two icons of different generations, proving that even the fiercest rivals can put pride aside and honor each other. That handshake wasn't just for the fans. It was for Cena himself. He later admitted that The Rock pushed him harder than anyone else in his career. And The Rock, too, confessed that despite their real-life tension, he respected Cena's work ethic and dedication to the WWE Universe. This rivalry showed us a deeper side of John Cena. A man who could stand tall in defeat, fight for redemption, and finally show humility and respect even to the person who once humiliated him. In the end, Cena versus The Rock wasn't just about two legends clashing. It was about pride, redemption, and respect. And that final handshake became one of the most emotional moments in WWE history. Proof that even enemies can become brothers. One of the most powerful things about John Cena's career is that he never forgot those who paved the way before him. Behind the loud entrances, the colorful merchandise, and the "you can't see me" taunts, Cena always carried a deep respect for the legends who built WWE into what it is today. And some of his most emotional moments came when he showed that respect in front of millions. When Cena shared the ring with Shawn Michaels, he wasn't just wrestling another superstar. He was standing across from one of the greatest performers in wrestling history. After their epic battles, Cena often bowed his head and raised Michaels' hand, acknowledging the man who inspired a generation of wrestlers. For Cena, it wasn't about winning or losing that night. It was about saying thank you to someone who gave everything to the business. Then came his encounters with The Undertaker. The Undertaker wasn't just a wrestler. He was a myth, a legend, a living symbol of WWE's mystique. When Cena finally got the chance to share the stage with him, the respect in his eyes was undeniable. Even in defeat, Cena stood tall, not angry, but humbled, knowing he had just been a part of history. That humility connected with fans, because it showed that Cena valued respect above ego. Perhaps the most emotional moment came with Ric Flair. After one of Flair's final matches, Cena walked into the ring and embraced him. In front of a roaring crowd, Cena raised Flair's arm, whispering words of gratitude. Cameras caught the emotion in his eyes. For Cena, this wasn't about a storyline. This was about honoring the man who defined champion for decades. Flair himself later said, "John Cena didn't just carry WWE on his back. He carried respect for all of us who came before him." In a world where fame often makes people arrogant, Cena chose humility. He didn't just fight to be the best of his time. He honored those who were the best before him. That's why fans connected with him on a human level. They saw a superstar who never forgot his roots, who bowed his head to greatness even when he was the face of the company. True greatness is not just about breaking records or winning titles. True greatness is about showing gratitude to those who inspired you. And John Cena's respect for the legends of WWE will forever be one of the most emotional and human parts of his journey. When all is said and done, John Cena's career is not just about championships, rivalries, or records. His true legacy lies in the countless emotional moments where he reminded us that WWE is more than entertainment. It's about connection, courage, and humanity. From granting wishes to sick children, to standing in the ring with tears in his eyes after defeat. From returning early from injury to prove the doctors wrong, to shaking hands with his fiercest rival. From honoring the legends who came before him, to teaching the world to live by 3 words: never give up. These are the moments that transform John Cena from a superstar into an icon, from a wrestler into a symbol of hope. And maybe that's why the world respects him so deeply. Because no matter how many titles he won, no matter how many boos or cheers echoed in the arenas, Cena never stopped being human first. So here's the question I want to leave with you. Which John Cena moment touched your heart the most? Tell us in the comments below, because your words may inspire someone else watching this video tonight. And if you believe in stories of courage, humanity, and never giving up, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to this channel, and stay with us, because we're just getting started. And yes, don't go anywhere, because next time, we're bringing you another story, one that will leave you speechless. If you thought Cena's emotional journey was powerful, Wait until you see what's coming next.